Hello, hello. We are back to another week of Things You Should Know. In today's episode, we're going to talk about why you should speak up before it is too late. Have you ever experienced a time where you wish you would have spoken your mind on a particular subject, or a time where you wish you could just go back and say what you really wanted to say, or explain to that certain someone or people in your past? Well, I know not a lot of us are good at communicating, including myself. Being able to speak up about things that really matters, or just being able to share the deep feelings that you feel with the different people. Being able to share your thoughts to people who really matters to you, really, it's a skill. And sometimes it's not even have to be something significant that you have to share with other people, but also relates to communicating even smaller details or things in your day-to-day, like speaking up in the meeting with your coworkers. All of that applies to how do we actually think about speaking up every single day. Now, take a moment and ask yourself, what are some things that have stopped you from expressing or speaking up on things that you really wanted to in the past? And rather, if you have stopped yourself from speaking up on, how you feel, let's say with your parents or your family, or maybe, think about a moment where you stop yourself from saying things you always wanted to say with your past lover or friends, or even speaking up about an idea that you have at work in the meeting. Like, imagine those scenarios and think and ask yourself, what stopped you from speaking up in those moments? Was it the fear of rejection? Was it the fear of them disregarding you being vulnerable in those moments? Or is it the fear of, feeling less than, or the fear of being judged? Now, I understand all of these are enough to stop us from doing a lot of things, including stopping us from speaking up on those things that really matters. Now, think about this for a second. If in all of those moments, and when those moments that you wanted to speak up, ask yourself, were what you were about to speak up your truth, for example? Do they have good intentions? Was it anything about harming other people or yourself or anything like that? And if it's not, right, that's good. If the answer is not, it's not with bad intentions, or it's not about, say something to hurt other people, then do you realize that there really isn't a bad outcome that could come with you speaking up? And here's what I mean. If people reject you as a result of you speaking up, or disregard you or make fun of you as a result of you sharing these things, then these people, they don't care about you in the way that you deserve. These people will be in your past. But at least you know that you gave your truth, you spoke up for who you are, what you believed in, and they didn't like you for it. They didn't like the person that you have transparently showed yourself to. And if they rejected you for it, or whatever reason it might be, you have, if anything, you it's like thank God moment, right? Like, because at the end of the day, you don't want to try to pretend to be someone else to please these people. If you have tried doing that, or if you are doing that, you know how tiring that could be. And at the end of the day, you will find that just pretending to be someone else just to please other people, it's not worth it. And you'll learn that you are wasting a lot of time, your precious time, on these other people, when you should really have focus on enriching yourself. And sometimes I think about this in the idea of how important it is to speak up on things that really matters to you before it's too late. Is that if only we could be reminded more often, like every day, just how short really life is. And the truth is, the people who matter don't mind the truth. And those who do mind don't matter, because this means they don't like you. For those who don't matter, right? Like, they don't like you. They only like you that they accept, right? So now I want to give some examples of some of the most common scenarios that we face in life where speaking up could be very, very difficult, but why we should still choose to speak up anyways. The first scenarios I'll use is family member or people that are really close to you, like your parents. So let's say you have your parents or your close family member, and you guys have difficult conversations that you've been avoiding for many years. There's things that perhaps you want to tell them, how they make you feel, how they impacted you in some ways, but it's a very difficult conversation for you for whatever reason, let's say. And let's say underlying the goal is that you want to improve that relationship, but you don't know how. You don't even know where to begin, and you don't know what to say. And this could be a scenarios where it is very important for you to speak up before it is too late, because at the end of the day, right, if your intention, it's pure, it's with good intent, it's like, let's say it's your mom, right? And you want to have a good relationship with your mom, and with whatever reason, it's just been so difficult to have that type of relationship with her, and you want to let her know how you feel and change it and make the relationship better. And I get it. Like, even though I would say, like, for me personally, I'm really close to my mom, but I have friends, close friends, that have these challenges. And what I've seen is that at the end of the day, even though people have different personalities, different style of communication, is that everyone wants to know, like what is someone's worth to someone, right? Like, so what I mean by this is, if let's say your mom is not a typical mom, right, where they want to tell you how much they care, maybe never told you they care in the way that you need it, but by you opening up and you could open up without an expectation of this person to just understand you or anything like that. It's almost like you just theoretically like just telling your truth, right? So like, don't go in with the expectation that this other person's going to understand you and you're going to have the outcome that you want, but focus on just how important it is for you to share this, idea or feeling or whatever it is with the other person. So just say it like, hey, look, like, I really want this relationship to improve or get better, and I don't know how, but I just want to let you know that I do wish that our relationship is better, and it hurts me to know that this is the reality of things and this is how it is. And honestly, even just that, right? Like, you don't even need to know how to solve all of these issues, but just telling the other person like how they make you feel is so powerful. It's a lot more powerful than you think. So it's not about blame. It's not about you telling them like, you are, disgusting, or you did this wrong and now you make me feel, hopeless. Like, I'm not talking about that type of how you make me feel, but it's more of like deep down, like, try to level it up. Like, you could say, you have hurt me, like, my feeling is so hurt, but you could explain, because I care so much about what you have to say. You know what I mean? Like, if you bringing it back to the other person and how their words or their action have that significance, even though they might not have anything to say at the moment, I guarantee you, even a talk like that could have a higher chance of making changes to the better with that other person, right? So even if you have challenges in talking to, rather if it's your family member, your friends, or your lover, just bring it up, because all of this applies to, it could be your lover, it could be your past lover, like, or it could be your past friends or current friends that, you're having this challenge with, where like you want to say what you want to say, but you are just having such a hard time saying it. But if you're feeling it and this feeling just keeps coming back over and over again, and it bothers you this much, I guarantee you it's better for you to say it in the most, like, not blame, not hatred, not confrontational way as possible, but just really the root of what you want, right, out of this relationship, which is like, hey, I really wish that we could be happy together, but this action that you're doing is just hurting me so much, and I don't know how to go forward with this, but I would want to work with you on it. Like basically saying things that's not like a either this or that, or it's your fault, so you need to fix it. Like, it's not blame, it's not an ultimatum, but it's just you feeling very like transparent and telling the other person like, hey, I really want this greatness with you and of you because I think great things of you, but this is how I'm feeling because of your action, and I really wish that we could, go for it. Like, if you use that strategy and share that, I would say like 9 out of 10 times, even though there isn't like a solution that could be come up that, people could come up with right away, is that they would look at you in a different way. Like, sometimes it's crazy, but like these people would not know the impact that they have on you, and they'll be surprised to maybe even hear you like not yelling at them and blaming them and just basically saying this is your fault and go fix it. Like, if you could just share that and without expecting things in return, like, I think you will be very surprised of the potential outcome that it could be. But I highly do encourage you, though, at the end of the day, do speak up, do share what's been on your mind. Like, even if you don't have an answer to solving it, because you know what? Imagine all of these scenarios, and this is why it is so important that you do choose to speak up, even though it's so hard, because there will be a time where it is too late. When people say like, oh, it's never too late. Yes, there is, right? Because the reality is that there's an end date to all of us, right? We're not made to last forever. And things pass, times pass, people pass. And so what this means is that if whatever you're feeling, whatever relationship that you want to amend, or whatever thought that you want to get across, if it's so important to you, and like it's in your soul, like you really want to share that, but you're so scared of all these other things, just remember this. There will become a time where it's too late. And you know what? At the end of the day, like, all those fears that you fear, they don't matter. Like, if these people decide to leave you as a result, ignore you as a result, disregard you as a result, think of you as less than or stupid, or any of those worst case scenarios that are in your mind, you need to remember, when it becomes like your last day on this earth, even if those worst fears were to come true, it doesn't even matter. And you know what? Thank God they did, because if these people actually end up leaving you, disregarding whatever that fear is, if it happened, I mean, like, thank God these people are not, in your, and I know it's hard to even accept that. Like, I'm saying like, oh, it's okay, like these people don't matter, but like, when that day come, you realize it, because if they couldn't accept you for you and just love you for you and just agree to disagree and just still let you be you, because like, you have no bad intention, then you've tried, and you could live your life feeling good. At least you've tried to make amends with these people. You have tried to show these people how much you care, and you wish that it could work out, and you are willing to try, and you try to share your ideas with people. If they make fun of you, they turn you down, like, these are not the type of people you want around in your life anyways. So choose to speak up, because there will come a time where it would be too late. And especially in the moments and with the people that matters, you want to make sure you do share, even if it means that they will go on the rest of their life ignoring that truth. Right? Like, because there are scenarios where even if you were to tell a family member or your lover how much you do care, how much you do want to fix things, and how much things hurt you, there are moments and scenarios where that doesn't work out and your worst fear come true. But at least you could tell yourself as you move forward is that you spoke your truth, you tried. That's how you tried to make amends of relationships, or get your ideas across is you have to try to at least say it, right? Because people are not mind readers. And yes, there are people I know that are able to, have that connection where you don't have to say a word and they just get in. That's great. But, the 90% of us out there can't, read you and know how you feel. And to really ensure that what matters to you get across is for you to say it. And you need to ask yourself, what is the worst case scenario that can happen? And then compare it to the real, not worst case scenario, but the last scenario is the last day of your life or of their life. Would you want them living and experience their last day without knowing exactly how you felt, and you now regret not telling them how much either they mattered to you or cared, or how you felt and how you wish things could be different? No, you would wish you would have said it. And I guarantee you, and I don't even need to guarantee you because it's just the way of life, it's that day it's going to come. You don't even need to guess. You don't even need to wonder if that would come. That is going to come. So if there are things that you want to say because you care about these people, because you wish, you wonder if things could be better, say it. And that's just at a great level, right? At a grand level to people like your family, your lover, your friends, whatever people around you that means a lot to you, that you have things that you want to say them. Say them. Because it's who you are. You're thinking it. That's you. Of course, don't say to harm. Don't say random things just because you're thinking it. I'm not talking about every little thing needs to be spoken up, but I'm talking about things that actually do matter, things that makes you you. Speak up on those. And to even smaller level on your day-to-day, even if you're surrounded by your friends and you have ideas, suggestions on what to do, where to go, and you feel like, oh, I never even speak those up, try to speak hey, what about we do this? What about we do that? You have a voice just like anybody else. Anyone else is speaking up is no different than you. Same with people in your workplace. If you have ideas, if you have suggestions, and you've always been shy and more introverted to speak up, but you still want to get your ideas across, do it in your way. However, still have those ideas out there and speak up and share your truth, share your ideas, share who you are, share your identity. All of that at the end of the day makes you a lot happier, and the world get to see the real you. It's a win-win for everybody. So please, please, please don't be afraid to speak up. Remember, all of those fears that you fear, at the end of the day, they melt away when it is the end of the day for everybody. And you just need to ask yourself, when that day does come, the end of day, which it does come, would you regret not saying what you want to say now? Would you regret not being who you are now? Rather, if it's a work environment, friends environment, lover, family, whatever it is, our time is capped. That is for certain. Don't forget, don't get so immersed with the day-to-day that you forget that. I'm not saying only remember that you have a day that's gonna be your last, but have that in the back of your mind and make sure every decisions that you do are going to ultimately slowly trickle through what is worth it to you. So if you have strong feelings on an idea, on an expression, or whatever it is, please do speak up, because one day it will be too late. Thank you so much for listening for today's episode. And if you like to hear more or share what topic you'd like me to talk about in the following week, please do follow me on my Instagram at Real Things You Should Know. And I'll talk to you next week. Bye.